this Wednesday morning, June 18th. Thanks for joining us on ARC Rochester. I'm Abbi Fridmann.
And I'm Dan Schrack. We have 2 full hours to get through, so let's run down what we have brewing for you this Wednesday.
Great, Scott. Where we're going, we don't need roads. This morning, we're jumping into the DeLorean and heading back to the future. A closer look at the Auditorium Theater's upcoming show with the one and only Marty McFly.
And Marty Snyder.
Yes.
How many Martys can you have? And then we are learning more about a bizarre dessert trend that's taking over Instagram. And your bathtub as well. That's coming up. Do you know about this?
I did look ahead, yeah.
You did?
Yep.
That's coming up in trending now. Food does not belong in the bathroom.
That's just a good.
It's a good rule for everyone.
General. Yeah. All right, speaking of food, eating healthy equals healthy brains. We'll be talking about some of the ways we can keep our minds sharp through nutrition. Nutritionist Kelley Springer will join us. Do we think it'll be beets? Beets, greens, fruits and vegetables?
Something tells me bananas are going to be involved today.
All
yeah,
right.
I don't know why. I just have a feeling that we're going to be talking about the importance of potassium.
Okay. Did you look ahead?
No, I have no idea.
All right.
Not a clue.
Have to wait and see.
I'm probably wrong. Before all of that, we do want to get a check of some of our top local headlines. Stephannie Joseph has your Wednesday morning news break.
Well, good morning there, guys. We do begin with a Rochester man fighting for his life after a shooting on the city's north side. Officers were called to Dayton Street just before 8:30 last night, where they found a 22-year-old man with life-threatening injuries. He was rushed to the hospital. Meantime, officials are investigating a second shooting about a mile away that happened nearly 2 hours earlier. Around 6:45, police say a 35-year-old woman was shot in the area of Cuba Place and Whitman Street, and she is being treated for non-life-threatening injuries. She's expected to recover. At last check, no arrests have been made in either case. Anyone with information should call 911 or Crime Stoppers at 423-9300. And we do have a check on time saver traffic this morning. We're monitoring a crash on 490 East near Mount Read Boulevard that's been causing a backup. You're taking a live look here at that scene right now. You can see on the other side there, the eastbound side, that traffic is moving slowly, very slowly. If we can get another look at those drive times, we've been monitoring some slight delays throughout this morning. So we'll be sure to keep you posted as we continue to monitor that. In the Middle East, Israeli airstrikes continue to pound targets in Tehran. President Trump is calling for a mass evacuation of Tehran, while the U.S. State Department has launched a Middle East task force to aid Americans overseas as that conflict escalates. An Iranian official this morning warning that any U.S. intervention in the conflict would risk all-out war. Back home, looking ahead to the next fiscal year, Mayor Malik Evans' budget has passed Rochester City Council. In a 6-3 vote, the $680 million plan passed, holding the property tax levy flat for a 4th straight year. It does include a hike in water bills, about $5 a month, to help pay for lead pipe removal and water main repairs. It also funds a youth reentry program, 2 new police academy classes, and $1 million for affordable housing and neighborhood safety. The budget also cuts funding for the Police Accountability Board down to $328,000. Meantime, voters in Gananda and Caledonia went back to the polls for school budget revotes. In Gananda, the new spending plan passed 413 to 161. District leaders say the revised budget cuts more than $200,000 in spending and removes 2 proposed positions. In Caledonia, voters also approved the updated budget for the Calmum School District. It comes after an audit found the district's surplus reserves was twice the legal limit and that more property taxes were levied than needed. The superintendent says this new plan taps into the reserves rather than raising the tax levy. For all these top stories and any updates, be sure to visit 13wham.com. Back to you.
All right, Steph, thank you. Let's get to the forecast now. The humidity is here. Some of us, we won't name names.
No.
Are fanning ourselves in the studio right now because
it's the same guy who was sitting out here, just yesterday, sweating, dripping sweat while sitting here.
Yeah, we won't get to him yet.
No.
We'll get to Marty Snyder, who's calm, cool, and collected like always.
I'm trying.
Marty, it's humid in here and it's humid outside too.
Do you think McLean needs to see a doctor?
No, his metabolism's up. It's good. It's a good thing.
I don't know. He's struggling over there.
Yeah.
He's got the right idea with that fan going. But yeah, it is going to be a warm day for us today. And yeah, the humidity, that's up there as well. You can look at that numerically. The dew point, that's coming in 68. That number continues to increase a little bit. So again, a very humid day in store for us. 74, temperature not all that warm. It is warm, but we're seeing that dew point really take the momentum there and really help it to feel very summer-like and mostly midsummer-like feel as far as how it feels right now. We'll get up to about 81 as we head towards noon. We'll be in the lower 80s for highs today. Still that potential is there for some scattered thunderstorms this afternoon. Any of those that form, they may not move all that fast. So it may be a story where we see a lot of rain in a short-term time frame with a good downpour or two as we go through the afternoon. But again, 80s for highs today. Longer term, 90s are in store. Not so much for the next couple days. We pull back a little bit for Thursday and Friday. But I think especially into Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, each of those days at least close to 90, maybe even a little above that. So that midsummer-like heat in store as we head through the longer term, guys.
I'm ready for a good downpour.
I'm like boogieing over here looking at that forecast.
Yeah, me
I'm
too.
stoked about
It's been a long time for it. It's been a while.
It has been a while. We deserve every second of this solid weather that we're going to experience, Martin.
I'm ready for it.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
All right, go off the top now. Start with things that have piqued our interest. Before that, you may notice we are sipping on iced coffee this morning.
We are. Today is Dunkin' Iced Coffee Day to kick off summer. Dunkin' today is going to donate $1 from every iced coffee and cold brew sold to the Joy in Childhood Foundation.
That brings joy to kids battling hunger or illness. You can also contribute through sales of merchandise at shopdunkin.com.
We need coasters or napkins.
Yeah, you're spilling it all over yourself there, buddy.
Well, it's condensation.
It's all right. It's for a good cause.
It's for a good cause.
Do it for the kids.
All right, let's get off the top now.
All right, we'll switch gears and get to my story. Can you believe it has already been 2 years since 5 people set out on what was supposed to be the adventure of a lifetime, only to vanish more than 12,000 feet below the surface of the North Atlantic? That is right, 2 whole years since that high-stakes, round-the-clock search that had the entire world watching, hoping for the safe return of the Titan submersible. If your memory is a little hazy, we'll do a quick recap. The small experimental submersible called the Titan was operated by a private company called OceanGate. This wasn't their first dive to the Titanic site, but this mission ended in tragedy. The price tag for a seat on board, $250,000 per person. The pitch was that if you had the cash, you could become one of the few people on Earth to see the Titanic up close. 5 people were on board: OceanGate CEO Stockton Rush, Titanic expert Paul-Henri Nargolet, British billionaire Hamish Harding, and a father and son duo from Pakistan. Just hours into their descent, the Titan lost contact with its support ship. An international search was launched with the Coast Guard, navies from multiple countries, and even private companies using state-of-the-art technology to try to locate the vessel. After 4 days of searching, debris from the Titan was found on the seafloor, and experts determined the sub suffered a catastrophic implosion because of the intense pressure. All 5 people on board died instantly. Now, fast forward 2 years later, a new documentary series is taking a deep dive into exactly what happened and all of the warnings that were ignored leading up to that final voyage. Using first-hand accounts, expert interviews, and audio from inside that master control room, the doc pieces together a detailed timeline of this incident and this tragedy. The docuseries is called Minute by Minute, The Titan Sub Disaster, documentary that is. After the tragedy, OceanGate shut down all operations, and the whole industry of extreme tourism, especially when it comes to experimental tech, came under scrutiny. From skydiving to storm chasing to deep caving, people started asking, where is the line between adventure and danger? So now, at the 2-year mark, we're still talking about the Titan, not just because of who we lost, but because of what it revealed. When it comes to these high-stakes exploration trips, bold ideas and big wallets are not enough. It is so important to trust the experts.
It absolutely is. I started to watch that docuseries this past weekend. Didn't get very far into it. But, I mean, listen, from the very beginning, when CBS did a profile on Stockton Rush and the Titan submersible 2 or 3 years before this happened, it was questionable then.
Yeah.
And
there's video of the journalist saying, "Are you sure that this is safe?
Yeah.
This seems very questionable," and they assured everybody this is completely safe.
yeah, I mean, he used a game controller for a PlayStation or something to control the submarine.
Yeah.
He bought the parts at Home Depot.
Yeah.
It's not,
Yeah.
I don't know. Listen, I have a fear of the deep ocean
Yeah.
because we all know there's monsters living down there, for sure. But no, no, thank you. That's the extreme tourism I would not do. Send me to space any day of the week.
Okay. Off you go.
All right, let's move along. My story today. Let's talk about what Microsoft is calling the infinite workday, which is just a corporate way of saying your job now owns your soul. A new study shows that 40% of workers check email before 6 a.m., before sunrise, before coffee, before our brains have even rebooted. The study didn't say whether those emails were replied to or just or if we just stared at them in that silent rage that we all do. But either way, we know this is not healthy, and it doesn't end there. Evening meetings, get this, are up 16%. And if that phrase sounds weird, that's because it is. I'm talking about after-hours Zoom calls for jobs that we used to leave behind at 5 o'clock. Because nothing says work-life balance like explaining quarterly losses to Susie and Elaine, or Elaine and Susie, while microwaving dinner and, throwing a load of laundry in. This is what happens when your office moves into your house and never leaves. Do you remember those days before work from home?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Well, we used to go to work. Now work shows up in our bed, our inbox, on our couch, and unfortunately in the bathroom. And you know what? We let it. We let it because we think it's normal, this hustle culture. We think it's noble, and we think being on all the time proves something when all it really does is prove that we've become unpaid interns in our own lives. Right?
Even intern Abbi is paid.
I know. Here's the kicker. Microsoft found 3 productivity spikes in the day. Ready?
Yep.
The morning, the afternoon, and then around 10 o'clock at night. Because apparently the new American dream is finishing PowerPoints under our new TikTok cooling blanket. I didn't buy it. Let's be honest. I didn't.
Okay.
Let's be honest, there's a difference between being passionate and being exploited, between ambition and addiction. And if your boss thinks 9 to 5 is just a Dolly Parton song, they may be part of the problem. So today, reclaim your time. Declare it an out-of-office auto-reply day.
Are you
What?
okay?
Oh, McLean is weighing in.
Oh, I didn't.
The peanut gallery
Okay.
is weighing in.
All right.
You got your break when you got this job.
If you get a meeting invite tonight, 7 o'clock, just politely decline and say, I'm busy recharging my humanity.
Wow. Wonder how that would go over with the bosses.
I mean,
Look,
what are they going to say?
Yeah, work-life balance is obviously so important. I think in this industry, it's especially hard because the news doesn't sleep.
Yep.
I can't tell you how many times I'm on my phone in the middle of the night, and I know that it's unacceptable, but guess what? I'm still doing it. I still have people I gotta talk to. I still have, things that are important. When I was a reporter,
what are you trying to prove by checking your?
I don't think I'm trying to prove anything. It's more I don't want to miss something and I don't want to let people down. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
why let people down?
yeah, like, okay, let's say there's breaking news in the middle of the night and I sleep through it. I don't want to let down the team by not being awake for it.
You find out about it when you get here.
Well, I don't know. To me,
Your tweet about it at, 9 p.m. our middle of the night.
I don't have access to Twitter anymore.
Okay, well, Blue Sky.
Hardly that either.
Okay.
You know what I mean.
Well, then there's no point in checking it, Abigail. Stick around. We've got a lot more to come right here on ARC Rochester, including when we come back, we're checking in with Chris Lopez, who has his toes in the sand this Wednesday, and soon he's going to be in the water.
Yep. Don't forget, take us on the go wherever you are. We're streaming live right now Join us on the 13 Wham YouTube channel and on foxrochester.com. We're back after this.
This weekend, a festive launch into the summer months.
What are you doing?
A festive lunch is happening if you want to pack a picnic, it's a festive lunch at Ontario Beach Park.
Okay, all right. We're talking about the 39th annual Harborfest, a 3-day schedule of free family fun festivities, including a sand sculpture contest. Do you want to try and see if you can do this right?
Chris Lopez is there live this morning learning how to win that event. Chris?
Yeah, guys, these are the tools we have here. Got a water cap off of a water bottle and a nice little shovel here to make this sun a dancing sun and give it a smile. I'm here with Terry this morning. You are the contest coordinator, member of the Ontario Beach Park Project Committee.
Program committee, right?
Yes, program committee. Let's talk sand sculpture contest, though.
Yes, the sand sculpture contest is running Saturday. Registration starts at 9 a.m. and goes till, you can get here as late as 11. And then there'll be a table set up on the boardwalk, and we'll register you. You'll get a stick with a number on it. You'll come out, you'll choose a pile. There'll be 25 piles around.
Okay.
And then you go to work. And there's water. You can bring whatever tools you need, but no artificial colors, no dyes, no Kool-Aid, no nothing. You can use whatever you find that's natural on the beach, and there's no theme. You can do whatever you want. You can do an animal. You can do a couch. You can do a airplane. You can do a sunflower, like I did this morning. Usually we get any number of contestants.
I was going to ask you, age range? Bob told me a 7-year-old won it 2 years ago.
A 7-year-old won. Last year we had a family came in. They were here for a wedding, and the kids said, "Mom, can we please? And they said, "Absolutely not." And they finally gave in, and didn't they win?
Free to join.
Free
cash
to join,
prize, though.
Always, yes. Nice cash prizes. We have about $300 total in cash prizes.
Okay.
So you never know what you're going to take home.
Okay, I like it.
Can you please add the face, you think?
All right,
now
so
that you have your
we
skills.
got, this is the, yeah, I obtained some skills over there from
Yeah.
Eric. Eric is the master. He's working on the official sand sculpture. Here,
Yep.
I'm just gonna plot in the eyeballs. You gave me the easy stuff.
Sure.
You, though, I wanna talk about your artwork here. This is all you. You're a gardener. You're not even a sand sculptor.
Right.
How the heck did you do this?
I knew it had to be a flower, and I thought about it. And a lot of the sand sculpting, I think, is the planning. You sit and you think, oh, am I going to do that? How am I going to make the petals? How am I going to do that? And finally I thought, oh, a soda bottle. A soda bottle cut in half will make the petals. And then I brought, of course, a big flower pot for the center. And just went to, in my trusty trowel.
Oh, wow.
And I went to work on it.
Okay. So
Good enough.
he's got a little bit of crack on the side. He's
That's
been
okay.
boxing for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then we'll draw.
Yeah, he's got a black
we'll
eye
get
there.
the smile.
Give it a big smile.
Get this smile.
Ooh, that's a little rough.
Okay. Wait a minute. Okay.
No,
I swear I'm not this bad at everything.
That's good, though.
Okay.
Wow, look at that. That looks
Give it
good.
A little bit of a grin here.
Yeah, big grin.
Okay.
He was going to be a dancing sunflower. Ooh, what do you got there? A nose.
That's a nose.
Good.
Okay.
He was going to be a dancing sunflower.
I gotta
but
get
didn't
some
have a
eyebrow
phone.
action, some shaped
There you
brows in
go.
there. Bada bing, bada boom.
Wow.
And then we're gonna give it some legs.
A genius.
It's a dancing. Boom. This contest, how cool do you think this is for people, especially when they're coming from out of town, maybe
Yeah.
meeting family for the summer? It's
Yeah.
the kickoff of
Yeah.
summer.
Yeah.
You come to Rochester, you're like, sand.
Yeah.
Sand? You guys have sand
You
there?
sand here? We, this park really is our backyard. It's our summer property. There's playgrounds. There's a spray park. There's restaurants. There's a gazebo. And then this weekend, there's going to be a huge festival, too. Food. There's going to be a circus. It's going to be really a nice weekend.
Yeah, acrobatics, which I'm going to take part in coming up in the next segment. What's your favorite part, though?
My favorite part, of course, is the food.
Okay.
No, the music.
Me too. Anywhere I go, I love the food as well.
I think live music is one of the most special things. And especially after this crazy winter that we had. It's our backyard here. We come down, we enjoy our backyard. Wow. You got it going on there.
He's got some jacked legs going on here. We're adding some depth. He's been on the squats. And
Squats.
we're going to be doing some acrobatics coming up in the next segment. I hope you guys like my sand sculpture. I'm going to send it back to you guys in the studio for now.
Very good. Thank you.
Did you talk to him in the last half hour and ask him about swimming?
I didn't know.
Do you think he'll do it?
No, I don't think. He's
There you
letting us
go.
down.
We'll leave it right in.
Yeah.
He's shaking his head no.
Chris, come on. Terry, push him towards it. Talk him into it. Stick around. It might happen on Arc Rochester. It might not happen on Arc Rochester.
We can only hope. Think of the views.
I know. Listen, people like that. Okay, when we come back, right here we have this morning's weather trivia.
Mark will be here when we come back. here giving us a look at the humid conditions and weather trivia as well.
Thankfully, we have the iced coffee today.
Yeah,
Is this how you use these?
No, you
You're
know what?
having a
If you do it
problem.
on your wrists,
Yeah? Okay.
yeah, that's a
Right.
good receptor
Like right here?
to
Ooh, that does
cool
feel
you.
good.
Yes.
I like that.
Yep.
Yeah. This is good, by the way.
What is yours?
This caramel in it.
Okay, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's all it is.
Truth be told, I've never had an iced coffee with caramel in it.
Really?
No?
Yeah, it's the first one.
That's just liquid sugar that you're drinking.
Well,
right
don't
now.
shame him.
Well, I'm not, but that's why you're really That's why he's really enjoying it, talking very fast, and he's sitting there going.
Well,
like
that'll be
this.
the next hit.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so we're talking about heat, right? We're talking about a potential heat wave coming up, and we were looking through yesterday. We went through the records, and it was hot this time last year. On this
Yeah.
date last year, it was 94 degrees.
Whoa.
Yeah, how about that? So it was a heat wave last year. This was a video from June 18th. There we are up at the beach. You know, whatever you can do to cool off on these hot days. Of course, today we're not talking about 90s, but that is in our future.
Yup.
You know, by late weekend, early next week, spray parks will be open. You know, the city will have all the cool sweep going on, and you know, whatever you can do to just stay hydrated, stay out of the direct sun, and just chill, take it easy, get in the air conditioning, find some air conditioning, especially during the day, and everything is a-okay. Just stay hydrated.
yeah, good advice.
Yeah, so we'll take that for the weather trivia this morning, and we'll go back to June of 2024.
Okay.
It was warmer than normal. The month itself was about 2 to 2.5 degrees above normal for Rochester. How many consecutive days of 90-degree warmth did we experience? Do you remember that heat wave that we
Oh,
had
man.
last year? Honestly,
Vaguely.
I didn't. Weather memories are short, right? I mean,
Was it an actual heat wave?
it was, yes.
Okay.
You know, people remember how they feel, but they don't often remember the details, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a year ago right now.
Okay.
4 straight days.
Did you
You
give
just
us the
gave away
answers?
the answer.
2 straight days.
Oh man.
Was it 8 straight
Oh
days?
man, Mark.
How many straight days? No,
It's
I'm giving you the choices.
Yeah, it's obviously 4 straight
4?
days.
No, 6 or 8.
So now it's not 4. Interesting.
It's that caramel.
Well, here's
Yeah.
the thing.
What
Here's
else
the
is in the
thing.
coffee?
We've already deduced that a heat wave is 3 days or more.
Okay,
Yes.
so one of those
So,
choices is not
It's-
good.
Yeah, and it's probably the choice that he accidentally said out loud.
Maybe.
Before showing
It's
it.
possible. It's possible. What's next? All right, let's talk about hot days in June.
Take that coffee away from him.
All right. Yeah, this thing is.
I'm not his mom. He can have it. I'm not in charge.
How hot can it get this time of the year?
Oh, didn't we just talk about that?
That
Oh,
was
no.
actually a weather trivia, right?
Yeah.
The 21st of 53, 100 degrees.
That's impressive.
That is impressive, and that's in the shade. That temperature is measured in the shade, all these numbers. 52, it was 96, so 90s here next week, and this is what Climate Prediction Center has out. Great Lakes, parts of New England. Mid-Atlantic is going to have some temperatures, actual air temperatures likely, in the 100s. So, I mean, this is going to be a true bona fide heat wave as we head through the weekend and next week.
I have a question/idea that I think could be fun for
Sure.
you to teach us.
Uh-huh.
Teach us about humidity, why some places experience humidity and why some places don't.
So humidity is a funny way to actually try to measure atmospheric moisture content because it's all based off of air temperature. When the air is warmer, it holds more moisture. When the air is colder, it holds less. So it's a ratio of how close the air is to actually being saturated. But if you go down to Miami, it's in the 90s, so the atmosphere can hold just a ton of moisture. But if you go up to like Barrow, Alaska, it's so cold that the atmosphere's ability to hold moisture is much lower. So when I teach this, I teach it as 2 cups. I say one is a small cup in Alaska, but it still could be full, which means that the relative humidity is 100%. And in Miami, you could have, a huge vat of something. It would hold, tons and tons of water, and you fill that up, and that's a ton more moisture than up in Barrow.
What about San Diego, California?
It would be, the temperatures are a little bit lower there, as compared, they get hot in the summertime, but
They don't experience our kind of humidity.
50s and 60 dew points. I mean,
Yeah?
it's not in the 70s to near 80 for those spots. So, Yeah, it's a fun topic to talk about. I want to get to the 7-day if I
Sorry.
can.
Grilling him. My
No,
gosh.
listen, I just find it interesting because I've never understood it.
I don't want to take too much time, but I got to get to this. There it goes. Put on the 7-day. There we are. 78 for tomorrow after 83 today. And again, it's going to be humid again. We'll get a break from that on Friday, a brief break. And then next week, look at those overnight low temperatures. That's where you try to cool off. And if you don't have the AC, that's where it gets a little tough. When you've got daytime temps in the 90s, nighttime lows in the mid 70s, that's where it becomes a cumulative stress effect on your body.
Yeah.
That time.
Those are the days you really need to be careful.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just slow it down, and you have to find shade. You have to stay hydrated.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Don't go anywhere. We still have a lot to come on ARC Rochester.
We're back right after this. Good Wednesday morning. Thanks so much for sticking with us here on ARC Rochester. Now at 8:33, we do want to go behind the story as we continue to follow the Israeli airstrikes against targets in Tehran.
Yeah, Israel's defense minister says Iran's supreme leader could meet the same fate as Saddam Hussein, referring to the former Iraqi leader who was captured and executed after the 2003 U.S. invasion.
Yeah, now this is day number 6 of attacks between the two countries, and there now are hundreds of casualties. We all know this began on Friday with attacks coming from Israel into Iran.
Yeah, overnight, another round of missile attacks that we've been monitoring and other outlets have been monitoring as well. The news outlets in Iran releasing video of rockets fired toward Israel and those missiles intercepted over Jerusalem as well. Chaotic night there, I imagine.
Yeah, absolutely. Then earlier this week, President Trump, who was in Calgary up in Canada, he left the G7 summit early. That meeting between those nations because of what was going on in the Middle East. Now, he was questioned as to whether or not he was working to broker a ceasefire deal. At one point on Air Force One, he said no, that was something that Emmanuel Macron said the president of France had mentioned. And he said that the U.S. was planning something much bigger. As far as what that is, we don't really know. But we do know that 2 days ago, yesterday rather, he did call call for the evacuation of Tehran.
Yeah, absolutely. He met with his national security team yesterday in that Situation Room. Again, like you said, after leaving the G7 summit, something that came as a shock to a lot of people. Also, President Trump issuing a mass evacuation of Tehran, posting on Truth Social, I believe is what it was, warning everybody to evacuate. And you've probably seen the video on social media of all of those cars evacuating. Really incredible to see. Just kind of puts into perspective the chaos that is unfolding there. Trump also, I just want to point this out, called Iran's supreme leader, quote, an easy target, and said that America's patience is wearing thin.
Yeah, in a post yesterday, he said that when talking about meeting the same fate as Saddam Hussein, said that he was not going to be killed yet because they know where he is hiding, the president said. Again, all of this playing out just over the past 6 days, still developing this morning. Now, closer to home, lawmakers we know in D.C. are continuing to debate the U.S. involvement in this.
And national correspondent Kelley Gaskins breaks it down for us.
A bipartisan group of lawmakers introducing a war powers resolution in the House Tuesday to prohibit U.S. involvement in Iran. Republican Thomas Massey from Kentucky writing on X, "This is not our war, but if it were, Congress must decide such matters according to our Constitution." Democrat Ro Khanna co-leading the resolution, writing on X, "It's time to put every member of Congress on the record for this issue." This effort in the House follows Senator Tim Kaine's war powers resolution introduced in the Senate Monday. This measure would require Congress to debate and vote on the U.S. entering the conflict.
I don't think the U.S. needs to be at war with Iran right now. I don't think our national security depends on it, and we shouldn't kind of blunder our way into it.
Senate Majority Leader John Thune says President Trump is fully within his right as commander-in-chief for what he's done thus far.
Clearly, if this thing were to extend for some period of time, there could be a more fulsome discussion about what the role of Congress should be and whether or not we need to take action.
There are also lawmakers on both sides ready for the U.S. to join the fight if that's what it takes for Israel to win.
They need our help, Israel does, to take out Forgue. They need help from us. I'm hoping the president will provide Israel the help they need to finish the job.
I'm unapologetically very pro-Israel. I think we absolutely got to follow him into this and take out the nuclear facilities. Taking out Iran at this point, that's necessary if you ever have a chance to have any real peace in the Middle East.
Bernie Sanders introducing his own resolution to prohibit the use of federal funds or any military force against Iran without consent from Congress. Sanders' measure includes an exception for self-defense. In Washington, I'm Kelley Gaskins.
Now, this all really comes down to the building of nuclear warheads, something that Israel has said that Iran has been doing or been working on for at least the past 2 decades. Benjamin Netanyahu has publicly spoken on this, saying that they're years away, they're months away from actually having working nuclear warheads. However, we have not seen that come to fruition. But the history between the U.S. and Iran is storied and goes back to the 79 was a big year. That is when 22 people, Americans, were held captive by the Iranians for 444 days, I believe it was.
And that was in the 70s, yes?
Yeah, 79.
Okay. Yep. I think one thing that is incredibly interesting with what is going on right now is the use of social media, communication between leaders. I mean, we just talked about President Trump posting on Truth Social, but also Iran's supreme leader giving a warning on social media, telling Israel, quote, the battle begins. Definitely an interesting thing to witness as somebody who uses social media. And, you know, I mean, a lot of people typically do.
Absolutely.
It's unprecedented.
It's become a key form of communication in all of this. You were mentioning President Trump's posts on Truth Social, Iranians leaders responding immediately after on social media to those statements that were just made, where you think decades, 79, nothing like that ever happened.
Yeah, and I mean, aside from what's happening in the Middle East, you look at the war between Russia and Ukraine, we've seen President Trump tweet and post telling Vladimir Putin and Vladimir Zelensky to come up with a deal. And he's been doing that on social media. So it'll be extremely interesting to see what plays out and, learning more about this use of social media and how it's impacting people here at home.
The fact that it plays out so publicly as well. None of it is, I'm sure it does happen through phone calls and other forms of communication, but being able to witness it in real time is truly something.
Absolutely.
Hey, stick around. We've got a lot more to come right here on ARC Rochester, including when we come back. We're once again checking in with Chris Lopez.
Don't forget, take us on the go wherever you are. We're streaming live right now on the 13 WHAM YouTube channel and foxrochester.com. We're back after this. Welcome back. This Friday is the start of the 39th annual Harborfest at Ontario Beach Park.
Yeah, the festival runs through the weekend and will treat people to a list of free family events. We all like free. Chris Lopez is live there this morning learning more about the acrobatics taking place. Are you going to try any of them?
We're going to get to that, Dan. We are going to get to that. You got to stay tuned in this segment. Mandy, are we going to get to that a little bit? This is the owner of Rock City Circus. We're going to get into that? We're going to try some of that? I don't know,
yes, we are. We're going to try some of that.
Okay. You guys here Saturday and Sunday, acrobatics. What can people kind of expect when they come to your side?
Well, we're going to have a circus show. So you're going to see aerial arts. You're going to see acrobatics. It's going to be a lot of fun. We have about 4 different aerial acts and then some acrobats.
Okay.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
And where are you guys going to be located? Because Harborfest is pretty big. It's spread out. It's spread out quite a bit.
Yes, we are over next to the carousel. So come on over there. We have shows at 1, 2:30, and 3:30, both Saturday and Sunday.
And what's the cool side about acrobatics? Those little kids that have never seen anything like this before, what do you want them to learn or take away from this?
I want them to take away that they can come and try it. It's a very very unique thing. And
Okay.
so we have a facility on University Avenue, and they can come and try it.
Yeah, and so this is for, what would you say, age range wise? A kid gets inspired. They want to try this out.
Yes.
They want to go to you guys, Rock
Yes.
City Circus. How old do they need to be?
We start 6-year-olds on the flying trapeze, and then 7-year-olds in the aerial arts, which you see Courtney doing over there.
Any danger to this at all? You told me no danger.
No
I
danger.
imagine there's a tad bit. You are doing some acrobatics, but for the most part, it's safe.
Yes, very safe. You're usually wrapped in. If you're on the flying trapeze, you have a safety belt on. So yes, very safe.
Anyone wants to check you guys out, though, after that, where can they go? How can they find out more about Rock City Circus, though?
RockCityCircus.com on
Okay.
our website. All
Okay.
the information is there.
All right, so that's absolutely amazing going down right now. I'm going to try a little bit. What do we got going on here?
We are going to put you upside down.
Okay.
Are you ready for that?
Yes, yes.
We're going to turn our aerial silk into a hammock. So you might want to ditch that mic. Come on a little closer. Oops, let's go a little higher.
I'm afraid of heights.
Well,
big deal?
that's okay. You're pretty low to the ground right now.
Okay.
So you're going to put this on like a backpack. So turn on around. Yep. One arm in, one arm in. Good. We're going to turn you. Let's turn sideways, right? Okay. So then you're going to hold on to the silks.
Okay.
Yeah, you're going to slide your thumbs down as high as you can, and you're going to stand up on your tiptoes. Okay. So what we're going to do is you're going to look up at the sky, shut those eyes so you don't blink, or so you don't blind. And then, yes, so keep leaning back. We're going to go into a butterfly stretch. Yeah. Awesome. And now you can let go. You can let go with your hands. I got your shoulders.
I can let go.
You can let go. Let go.
I'm scared. Okay.
You got it.
Whoa.
Woo!
Guys, Harborfest Friday starts at noon. You can check out Rock City Circus Saturday and Sunday. Guys, I'm not jumping into the water. I'm dizzy. Back to you in studio. You can find out more information on foxrochester.com.
Look at him go.
Peace.
That's one side of Chris I never needed to see.
All right.
Nice
You're doing great out there, buddy. Thank you.
Hey, don't go anywhere. When Arc Rochester returns, we are learning more this morning about an annual blood drive that's making its return today.
Yeah, we're back after this.
Nearly 18 years ago, the Fairport community was forever changed when 5 girls died in a tragic crash just 5 days after their high school graduation.
Since that day, the girls' families have made it their mission to honor their life and legacy each year with a blood drive.
The Fairport Angels annual blood drive is happening once again today. We have organizer Stephannie Shirley and American Red Cross's Katie Hout joining us in studio with more now. Thank you both so much for waking up.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Let's dive right into this. We were talking before the commercial break, before we started this, the importance of this blood drive and the ripple effect it really has.
You know, every year the families host this in memory, not only in memory of the girls, but to say thank you to a community that was so very generous to us. And then the communities come out and they donate blood. And then that blood gets put into our community, and for every pint that's given, 3 lives are helped save. So it really, the numbers are big, and it's a big impact. And I try to express to people, giving blood is very little effort and has a tremendous impact. And this year especially is challenging for me. I can say me personally, I can't speak for the other families, but 18 years marks that the girls will be gone longer than we've had them. And and that's a little bit tough to swallow this year. So I'm really hoping this is a great drive. We've had successful drives in the past, but I'm really encouraging people to walk in. It's important. We appreciate so much everybody's support, not only during that time, but over the decades. And they continue to support us, and it means so much to all the families. You know, I can't express it enough. You know, I don't know what else to say. All I can say is, everybody, please come out and support it. We'll be there waiting for you, and thank you.
You know, we know that the folks in our area are so giving.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter what is going on, people always show up to support those in our community, which is a really wonderful thing. Great community to live in. I want to talk a little bit about all of the people that can be saved and can be helped just by donating blood. It really is so meaningful and so special, and like you said, so easy to do.
It is, absolutely. So to Stephanie's point, you know, every pint of blood can really touch up to 3 lives, you know, so it's important. This blood drive has been an instrumental success to the Rochester community overall for this will be their 14th year. So we've collected over 1,000 pints of blood, touching over 3,000 lives, 200 plus first-time donors. So it's really important for us in general and for the community, to your point.
How does that make you feel, knowing that your daughter's memory, along with 4 others, has had such a lasting impact in this community?
You know, it's a powerful way to honor the girls.
Yeah.
It's really and you know, we'd like to think our girls would be this kind and would be willing to make these kind of gestures on their own. So it's kind of our way of kind of filling in the gap, for lack of a better way of putting it, and you know, and doing something so important. We miss them every year. There's no question. Every day, every single day, we miss them, and every year, and the anniversaries go on, and people continue. I mean, I'm always amazed. You know, it's strangers that walk in. It's the woman that used to deliver my mail. It's, you know, it just boggles my mind. And I don't know, you probably weren't around in 2007, but the support, throughout the country, and that's the other nice thing that we have to offer that Katie can talk more about, that this doesn't have to just be Rochester. It can go beyond Rochester, the way the Sleeves Up drive. You know, I'm hoping that the next generation continues to support the blood drive and gets out there and really, you know, pushes it forward, because we're going to need that next generation to keep the philanthropic projects going.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. All right, so then let's touch on that really quick. Tell us about the process for donating blood. We may have, you know, college kids or kids in high school who have, you know, no plans for the day today. How old do they have to be? What do they need to know if they want to come and donate?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are taking walk-ins, especially from 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock. There should be no wait today. So you have to be 16 years old with a parental permission slip, which you can find on redcrossblood.org, or we can have them on site with us today. 17 and up can donate independently. So really just come out. You'll be greeted by family and friends, and you will have to have a driver's license, of course. And we'll check you in. We'll do a mini physical, if you will. Then once you're past that, you'll be ready to donate. Average time on the bed is about 4 to 6 minutes, and then we'll enjoy snacks together afterwards.
And it doesn't hurt, not for long.
It doesn't hurt.
It doesn't really.
Just a little pinch, right?
Yeah.
It's really just
a little pinch. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Come hydrated. That's the big thing. Come hydrated. That's
True.
the biggest thing. But no, really, and I can't express enough that it takes so little effort and makes such a big impact. I say that every year, and it bears repeating. I think people are concerned that it hurts or it takes time. It's really, and it's so, I keep saying, I know I keep saying the same thing, but it's so important. There's such a shortage, and you never know when a family member or friend is going to need it.
Absolutely.
At any given day. So.
And you said 3,000 lives, more than 3,000.
More than 3,000.
It's truly incredible.
Absolutely.
Truly incredible work
Yes.
that both of you.
All of us, all the
Yes.
families have done.
Yes. Yes. Thank you for that.
We appreciate it. And, sorry, go ahead.
Just remember, it's 1 to 7 today, St. John's of Rochester. I hope to see everybody there.
Very good. And we'll post all of the blood drive information over on foxrochester.com.
8:55 this morning. Don't go anywhere. A lot more ahead here on ARC Rochester.
We're back after this. Much more to come this morning on ARC Rochester as we continue into the 9 o'clock hour. Stephannie Joseph will be here breaking down some of our top political stories.
Yeah, she joins us now with a preview of what we can expect at 9. Hey there, Steph.
Hey there, guys. In today's political pulse, the latest response from President Trump about the ongoing conflict between Israel and Iran, what he's calling on Iran to do, and the response from the country's supreme leader. And Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth back in the hot seat, the questions he could face from Congress today. Plus, why the conflict in the Middle East will be on the minds of the Federal Reserve. Then, where matters stand with TikTok as the app looks for a new owner. That's all coming up in our 9 o'clock hour. ARC Rochester returns after this.
9th. Thanks for sticking with us on Arc Rochester. I'm Abbi Fridmann.
And I'm Dan Schrack. That is meteorologist Mark McLean. We'll check back in with him in just a minute for an update on that forecast. Before all of that, we do want to head over to Stephannie Joseph with your Wednesday morning news break.
Here are some of the top local stories that we're following this Wednesday morning. A Rochester man is fighting for his life after a shooting on the city's north side. Officers were called to Dayton Street just before 8:30 last night, where they found a 22-year-old man with life-threatening injuries. He was rushed to the hospital. Police have also announced an arrest connected to a second shooting about a mile away and 2 hours earlier. Around 6:45, police say a 35-year-old woman was shot in the area of Cuba Place and Widman Street, and she's being treated for non-life-threatening injuries. Police tell us this morning that last night they found the car involved and so far have charged 19-year-old Eric Rowe Calvin with criminal possession of a weapon. At last check, no arrests have been made in that previous case that I mentioned. Anyone with information should call 911 or Crime Stoppers anonymously at 423-9300. The man at the center of a traffic stop that gained national attention facing a judge in federal court. 25-year-old Wilson Oswaldo Galvin Lopez, a Guatemalan national, has accepted a plea deal. Prosecutors say he was deported in 2023 and re-entered the U.S. illegally. He was detained in April during a traffic stop that Rochester's mayor and police chief later called a violation of sanctuary policies. Galvin Lopez's brother and father were also arrested that night and are now being held in New Mexico. In Buffalo now, the federal case against the suspect in the 2022 mass shooting at a top supermarket returned to court for pretrial hearing. Oral arguments lasted nearly 2 hours, focusing on issues of motive and premeditation. Federal prosecutors are seeking to establish aggravating factors, circumstances that could warrant the death penalty if Peyton Gendron is convicted. Among them, his deliberate choice to target the Jefferson Avenue Tops location, with prosecutors arguing it was intended to maximize harm to the black community. 10 black people were killed and 3 others injured in the attack. Gendron is already serving life in prison on state murder charges. For all these top stories and any updates, be sure to visit 13wham.com. Back to you.
All right, Steph, thank you. We'll get to Mark's forecast and the answer to weather trivia. Something tells me.
Yeah.
Maybe if people were watching earlier,
2, 4,
may have a good idea.
6, or 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
so it was hot last year, right?
It was.
This was that stretch we had a certain number of days in a row that had 90-degree heat. How many days? That was the trivia question. So how many days in a row did we reach that? Threshold? So did we have any guesses on Facebook? We did. Look at this. B, 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 and a C. And we've got some Insta over there. Abby's got some Insta for us.
What? 50% B, 50% C on Instagram. Abigail?
Listen, I got to go with B.
I got to go with B, too.
You're on a roll. Oh, why did it say C? Oh, they both
say 4 days.
I
This
did that
guy.
on purpose because I gave it away.
This guy. No, you did not. This guy. I'm telling you, it's that iced coffee that you're drinking out here.
I did C. It's the same answer. You're right.
4 days.
It is, but that's not what the same answer. Those are not the same options from the last
They
hour.
weren't because I gave it away last hour.
Yeah.
That's why
It's
I did
all
that.
good. Everything's fine. Everything's fine here on Arc
4-day
Rochester.
stretch. In fact, today was 94 last year.
Really? 94?
Yeah, 94.
I'm trying to remember what I was doing last year. Oh, actually, I know exactly what I was doing a year ago. I was setting up my pool on my deck. Do you remember when you made fun of me for my kiddie pool?
I would never make fun of anyone for the kiddie pool.
Well,
setting it up for you or for the doggy?
It was for me. It was straight up for me.
And then you did send me a picture of your husband in the kiddie pool.
That's amazing.
Well, yeah, I mean, he was hot. He needed to cool off.
That's amazing.
It worked.
Do you still have it?
Of course we still have it.
Are we setting it up this week?
Maybe we will.
We may need it again. Let's take a look at that. Yeah. Look at this. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
So many.
Oh, guys.
You know, we're getting so many different responses now through 13wham.com/chime in. Here goes one more time. There it goes. Muddy Paw Outlook. We missed it.
Muddy Claw.
Muddy Claw, right?
Outlook.
Don't they have like the opposable thumb on the back legs too? Right?
I don't know, but
something like that.
I'll
They're
tell you what.
marsupials.
They are really good at going through the trash.
Yeah. There you go. Oh, yes, they are. Yeah, there it goes again one more time. All right. Anyway, today, tomorrow, we've got that chance for some showers and thunder, and we'll start to dry out Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for that muddy paw outlook. It does look a little threatening out there, doesn't it? 76 degrees. The dew point's actually at 69, so the atmospheric moisture content is way up there. But so far, nothing coming out of those dark clouds that you just saw. But back to the southwest, that starts to change. Southwest flow continues. We're going to find temperatures into the 80s this afternoon. And also on the Futurecast, watch this. So if you have late afternoon, evening plans, just be aware that we could have a few downpours out there, some thunder mixing in with some of these. And some of these could be slow moving. That's one thing we're going to have to watch. You know, some poor drainage flooding may pop up if any of those showers and storms sit over any spot for any length of time. So when you see some of these higher numbers, I don't suspect that this will be an area-wide deal, but could you get an inch or two of rain in some of these tropical downpours? Yeah, that's a possibility. But also notice some spots have close to zero rainfall too. So this is going to be a really localized kind of thing that we're going to be tracking through the afternoon and evening. Meteorologist Scott Hetzko will join us this afternoon and this evening, as well as meteorologist Selena Ramos. She'll be in too. But summertime, we're talking about the transition. 10:42 Friday evening is the summer solstice. Get those clubs ready to go. We'll see numbers into the 80s this afternoon, likely low to mid 80s close to Rochester. It just depends on how long that rain holds off for us. And the extended forecast, nice and seasonable for the first day of summer, 77. But then summer says, get out of the way, spring. Check these numbers. 90 on Sunday, 93. I mean, it says summer going.
Yeah.
It is.
Yep.
Look at that. One day, 14 hours, 52 minutes, and 6 seconds.
Remember when that was 90 plus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those were dark days.
Yes, they were.
Literally.
Both literally and figuratively.
It was cold.
Yeah.
It was
Yes.
cold and rainy. Yep.
Cold,
Yeah.
Depressing.
icy.
Yeah.
We were all
Tomorrow,
grumpier.
Ashley, we have to have a new picture tomorrow.
For the official start Friday, too.
Yeah.
If you and I both remember,
I'll
which
remind
is
you.
oh, thanks, Abby.
Okay.
It was supposed to be like a little. I didn't want to do it.
Oh.
But I mean, I'll do it.
Maybe I'll forget. I don't know.
Yeah,
Oh,
maybe.
goodness. Goodness gracious.
All right. I think we have to toss to something fun here, right?
Yes.
What are you doing?
I don't know. I think meteorologist Marty McFly is in the studio, ready to give us a future forecast or a past forecast.
He's got 1.21 gigawatts ready to go.
That's
Yes.
it. We're all ready. We're going back to the future. I'm here with Lucas. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thank you,
Lucas is
Marty.
going to be playing Marty McFly, who I'm trying to play at this point.
Oh, doing
with the vest.
very well.
How's the vest look?
Oh my God, it looks
Is it
great.
working? It's not really the day
I don't know
for
if
it.
you'll need it today, though.
Definitely not today. Not with the forecast. How about this? Why don't you step on my side?
Okay,
We'll take
great.
a look at the forecast. I will give you the honorary
Oh, my
clicker.
goodness.
Hit that button right in the center
I
there.
sure will.
And let's see what we
Oh,
have for the
look at
forecast.
that.
Actually, you know what? I was wrong. Let's go to this
Okay, let's
side.
go
So
this
we
way.
see the graphic there, but we can show you what the forecast is. How about you help us out? Tell us what the forecast is going to be today. What are the
look at
numbers we
that.
got? I'll step out of the way
it
for
looks
you.
like here at 9 a.m. on Wednesday, which is today, we've got 76, and then it goes up to 81, get a little hot at the middle of the day, and then, by nighttime it cools back down to
a
about
little bit.
71. I like that. A nice little
Exactly.
cool sleeping time.
It'll be good, yeah. But that's it. We're going to warm things up as we head to the future, as we go through this afternoon. A little
Absolutely.
humid for us today as well. So, especially the costumed look is not the way to go today, but it is inside in the AC, right?
In the AC, absolutely. And if it's hot outside, it's great to go into a theater and see a show.
Perfect. And when does the show start? Maybe you can give us a little tease.
Oh my gosh, it started last night and we're here until Sunday.
Till Sunday. Okay,
yeah,
great.
Yeah.
So it's on
great
tonight?
weather for the week and great show for the week.
Perfect way to go. Well, hey, I appreciate it, Lucas.
Oh my
Thanks
gosh,
for coming
thank
in
you
with
so
us.
much.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
allowing me to wear the official
absolutely.
vest.
You're Marty after all.
Yes, Marty McFly for a day, right?
Yes.
People have been calling me that for years, so now
Good.
it's official for at least one day.
Yeah.
All right, thanks a lot,
Thank you
Lucas.
so much. Thank you.
Let's head back to you guys.
Great Scott, Marty. That was an excellent job.
That life preserver looks good on him, too.
It does, doesn't it?
It's a good look.
He's busting out of that thing, that guy.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, don't go anywhere. Because when we come back, we are chatting with Marty McFly for a preview of the Auditorium Theater's production of Back to the Future.
And don't forget, you can take us on the go wherever you're headed this morning. Arc Rochester is streaming live right now on the 13 Wham YouTube channel and foxrochester.com. Stick around. We're back after this. We are going behind the curtain this morning, heading back to the future this Wednesday.
The classic film, now a Broadway musical, and you can catch all the iconic characters happening right now at the Rochester Auditorium Theater.
Sure can. We met him before the break with our Marty, but this is Lucas Hollower, who plays Marty McFly. Thank you so much for coming in and sticking around with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So we were talking during the break. You have been a member of this touring company for a year now.
Yes.
But just took over as Marty McFly about 6 months ago.
Yeah. So we started about a year ago. We started in upstate New York in Schenectady, and so now a year later we're back in upstate New York, and we are here to perform for the people of Rochester. We're very excited.
Well, the people of Rochester, I'm sure, are very, very excited that this production is in town. Tell us how opening night went.
Oh, it was fantastic. The audience was incredible, and it's so wonderful to hear the reactions when people see such iconic characters and such iconic moments on stage in front of them, and it's always thrilling to hear what people react to different things.
Now, I imagine this sticks pretty true to the film, to the movie, but are there any twists and turns that people might not expect when they see this stage production?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously, it stays very true to the film. We had original creator Bob Gale working on the show with us in rehearsals, and that was really fun. But obviously, one thing that's majorly different is there's music and dancing and singing, and so that's really exciting. And we have all the classic songs from the film. We have "Power of Love," "Johnny Be Good," and then there's some really good new songs that the team wrote that I think a lot of people will really like.
You started as the understudy, now you are the leading role. What do you like so much about the character?
Oh my gosh, he's the coolest guy alive, and he just wants to make it in the world, and I think he learns an incredible lesson throughout the story about family and about love and about friendship, and so I think that's one of my favorite things every night is just to be reminded about that love and that friendship, and it's nice in the world to be able to celebrate that.
A major piece of the set, though, a major prop in the show, that famous DeLorean. What is it like getting to, ride in that thing, time travel in that thing?
It's amazing. I mean, the creative team has really put together an amazing way of showcasing these incredible special effects and making the things from the movie happen on stage in front of people. It's really incredible to see, and I think the only way to really describe it is to experience it. And
Did you get a hoverboard too?
No, that's the second movie, but we're only the first one. But I wish I would love one. But no, just the DeLorean. But the DeLorean is quite the good ride.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, so for somebody who wants to come by the show, is there a particular scene, a particular moment that you want them to pay close attention to? Any kind of like Easter eggs or special song, like good, strong moment?
That's good. There's a lot of stuff, if you look very closely in the Doc's lab set, a lot of that is very accurate to the movie, and you'll find things that maybe we don't reference or maybe we don't talk about, but they were in the movie and they are iconic to the film. But yeah, it's cool to see they've really tried to put in those little references to the movie that even if we don't reference it explicitly, people might notice it and remember it from the film.
Talk to us about the rest of the cast. Doc, the character, is quite a character. What is it like being on tour with these people and, starting your own stage family?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, David, who plays Doc, is one of the most incredible people I've had the pleasure of working with, and he is one of the funniest people I've had the pleasure of working with. And so I think what's really fun about working with him and doing the scenes as Doc and Marty is the ability to play and the ability to bounce off one another and have different fun ideas that the audience might like. And yeah, it's fun to be able to build that friendship with him, because I think that's one of the most important parts about the story is the friendship between Doc and Marty. So yeah, and then obviously George and Lorraine and my parents, it's nice to be able to be on tour with people who are all working towards the same thing, and we all are so close and like a family in real life. So it's fun.
It sounds like a lot of fun. We've talked about the cast and the crew and the set. Tell us about the music. You mentioned that it's a lot of the classics people will recognize. is it, something people can kind of groove to?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, with the new songs, I mean, the team that wrote the score for the movie, Alan Silvestri and Glenn Ballard, they wrote the music for the show as well. And so I think they tried to keep that vibe of the movie while also influencing from Broadway musicals and influence from like hip hop and rock, and it's cool to see different what they've created and those 80s vibes mixed with those 50s vibes and like little doo-wop songs, and there's a song for everyone in the show, and I think that's what people like about it is there's something that everyone will enjoy.
It sounds very exciting, looks very good. The show is Back to the Future on stage now at the West Her Auditorium Theater. You don't want to miss it. If people want to get tickets to last night's show, how do they do that?
You'll have to invent a time machine and go back, but
we can't borrow yours.
I think it's a little booked for the week.
Okay.
We've got 7 more shows, so we need it. But if you want to see last night's show, you're out of luck. But 7 more, and we're here till Sunday, so.
Fair enough. Thank you again.
Thank you so much.
Time right now is 9:19 when Arc Rochester returns. Steph will be here breaking down some of our top political headlines.
Political Pulse coming your way next.
It's time for a political pulse check here on Arc Rochester. We begin with President Trump calling for the unconditional surrender of Iran on social media. Now, in another post, Trump said, quote, "We know exactly where the so-called supreme leader is hiding. He is an easy target. We are not going to take him out, at least not now. But we don't want missiles shot at civilians or American soldiers. Our patience is wearing thin." The comments seeming to suggest the U.S. may consider intervening in the conflict. Now, the president not mincing words as tensions between Israel and Iran flare. Overnight, Israel launched strikes on Iran. No casualties were reported from that incident. Still, the missile strikes have caused dozens of deaths in Israel and more than 500 in Iran. Top generals and nuclear scientists have been killed since Israel attacked the country over its nuclear program last week. Meantime, the Israeli ambassador to the U.S. is not ruling out American intervention.
Right now, the operation in Iran is a blue and white operation. And should the President of the United States choose to turn it into a red, white, and blue operation, that remains to be seen. Once we take out this race by the Iranian regime to achieve a nuclear bomb, the entire region will change. This is a war to end wars, not to enter into endless wars.
Well, Iran is refusing to back down. The country's supreme leader this morning said any U.S. military involvement will result in, quote, irreparable damage. The U.S. State Department is now taking steps to protect Americans abroad.
The Department of State has established the Middle East Task Force to help coordinate support for U.S. citizens, our U.S. diplomatic missions, and personnel and diplomatic engagement. The task force is operating 24 hours a day.
Now to Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, back on Capitol Hill answering to lawmakers. Well, it marks another round of hearings for Hegseth. He's expected to face more tough questions related to his tenure, views on women in combat roles, as well as the airstrikes between Israel and Iran. Now, last time, lawmakers pressed him on the deployment of the National Guard to LA, the signal check controversy, and much more. The Federal Reserve is expected to meet today to decide on interest rates. Now, experts believe the board will keep those rates steady. Some of the factors in their talks include tariffs and the attacks between Israel and Iran. The latter has led to a rise in the price of oil. A pause on reciprocal tariffs is up on July 9th, causing some added uncertainty.
They are also anxious about what's happening to inflation because of not just tariffs, but also because of potentially the oil spike that could come about if the oil production facilities in Iran were to be disrupted.
And finally, TikTok could be getting a 90-day extension. President Trump expected to sign an executive order soon. Now, back in January, lawmakers passed a bipartisan law that banned the app if it did not find a different owner not based in China. That deadline was June 19th. Since taking office, Trump has been lenient with the app, allowing it to have more time. It appears TikTok has become a bargaining chip in ongoing trade talks with China, Trump confirming his intent to extend the app's deadline.
Probably, yeah. Probably have to get China approval. I think we'll get it. Yeah, the legal basis. I think President Xi will ultimately approve it.
And be sure to stay with ARC Rochester for your top political headlines. We're back after this.
Thanks so much for sticking with us here on ARC Rochester. A local group is calling out to the community for help as they put together their health fair in Jamaica.
Yeah, the team is asking for donations and sponsors to help them buy medical supplies and other necessities for those who live there.
They absolutely are. And this morning we are joined by Kelley and Maxine Hamilton. We are joined via Zoom this morning. Thank you both so much for waking up bright and early and joining us. We appreciate this.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for having us. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. So let's dive right in and talk to us about this health fair that is happening.
Well, we're having the health fair in Mount Prospect, Jamaica, which is in the top of the Blue Mountain. And it's a pretty rural area. The roads are really, really bad. It's difficult for people to make it anywhere down the mountain. It costs money. They have to charter a vehicle, and a lot of people can't afford that. So they avoid going to the doctor. And the doctor's offices are very, very far away. So it's pretty difficult for them to get there.
Things that people absolutely need and resources that are essential. Tell us about the local connection.
Locally, it's my grandma's town. I have family that's there, and I've been visiting for the past 4 years. And I noticed that's how I noticed the need is that while I'm visiting family and learning the neighborhood and learning the people, I found out how difficult things are for everyone to get help. There is no ambulance service or anything like that if they were to fall out or anything. Yes, that's the Mount Prospect Basic School. That's going to be our location of the health fair, and that's the church that's hosting us.
What gave you the idea for this health fair?
Well, you know what? My grandmother have diabetes and hypertension, and she fell out one day while I was on a FaceTime call. And that's because she wasn't getting her blood pressure checked. And I initially thought maybe I can just go to the town square and just say, hey, can I check your blood pressure? And it went from that to this bigger event. I was just going to be the only person doing it, but now I have a whole team.
It's amazing that you have the whole team, and just shocking to think that some essential services aren't readily available, and honestly, so hard. That must have been difficult for you to witness.
It really was, because I'm witnessing my grandmother fall, and I'm on the video, and I'm afraid. I'm like, what do? We can't call 911. So we called our friend Javar, who's our driver, and he came right away, and they carried my grandma to the car and drove her to the closest doctor's office, which is in Stony Hill, and that's super far away, all the way down the bottom of the mountain and then over.
Talk to us, if you will, about what resources you hope to have available for the residents there at this health fair.
So what we're providing is free screening. We're going to check people's blood sugar, their blood pressure. We're going to check their BMI. We're going to give them education on that stuff. We have Comprehensive Eyewear. That's a business here that's going to be doing free eye exams, and we're going to give out free reading glasses and personal care items. We have toothbrush, toothpaste, all different kinds of stuff. We're going to be feeding everyone that comes, as much as food we have, but we're going to be giving everybody a meal. We're going to have games for the kids, prizes. It's just going to be a lot of fun for the community, as well as getting some, education out there, and just learning what they need and what they want, and go from there.
And Maxine, tell us about your role, what you are doing there. I imagine you're quite busy.
Yes, I live in Brooklyn, New York, and Kelley's my niece, so I accompany her, and it's my community.
Go ahead.
So my aunt grew up there, and she's been a super help in communicating with the locals and helping me out to get to know people. So she's doing a big role with helping me connect with everybody.
Thank you so much for your time this morning. For somebody sitting at home thinking to themselves, I would love to help, how can they do that?
We have a GoFundMe link and Cash App link. Our GoFundMe link is https:// gofund.me/4167FA4E. And then for our Cash App link, it's our name, Mia DeBest. So it's the $ with MIADIBES. And anybody can contact me on Facebook, and I will answer any questions you guys have.
Terrific. Thank you both so much. We appreciate it greatly.
Thank you so much for having us.
Time right now is 9:33. Much more to come this morning on Arc Rochester. When we come back, a look at some of the stories that have people talking this Wednesday.
And don't forget, you can watch us on the go wherever you are. Arc Rochester streaming live right now on the 13WAM YouTube channel and foxrochester.com. Stick around. Arc Rochester returns on the other side of the break.
Welcome back. Time to see what's trending. And starting with a viral dessert that has some people taking things a little bit too far.
Or a viral desert. It depends on who you are reading the copy.
I said dessert, right?
You did.
Okay.
I said desert, though, the first time.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Yeah.
So content creators are posting videos of tiramisu being made in a variety of unusual locations.
Some of which have included, but they're not limited to, car consoles, bike baskets, wheelbarrows, and truck beds.
Why?
I hate people. Man, this is the worst.
It started when one content creator showcased their tiramisu dish being made in a car console. That is repulsive.
All right, no bowl.
They should go to jail.
No bowl, no baking dish, no nothing. The account posted the video and simply said the Italian dessert can be made and had just about anywhere.
No, it can't. People,
I have chills,
being
like,
people,
actually
started taking part in this trend and upping the ante with where they could make tiramisu next.
So here are just a few. Do we have the videos, Ashley?
No.
Oh, great.
'Kay.
Okay. Close your eyes and picture this.
Yes.
Anywhere. A truck, a bathtub.
Ooh.
Ooh. What else?
There was a toilet. There was a bathtub. There was.
You know what? No, that's just being wasteful. That's what that is.
Yeah. It's being wasteful and it's disgusting. You don't bring food into the bathroom.
No.
That's never acceptable.
No.
This may be just satire, but people are saying it's been taken way too far, but other people seem to love it. They're monsters.
Rage bait is what it is.
Yes.
People know that if they post it online, they're going to get clicks, they're going to get paid.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of those stupid videos where it's an AI voice that says, have you ever taken a can of tuna fish, put an egg in it, mixed it together, put it in a bowl, then wrapped it in a tortilla, baked it in the oven, added pasta sauce, cut up carrots, mashed it all together. Have you ever seen those videos?
I've never seen that before.
I broke my last phone watching one of those. Just threw the thing against the wall. These people need to get, seriously, pick a career. Because this one, you might be doing well right now, but it's not going to last. It's not going to last. These people do not deserve the same rights as us.
Okay, all right. That's a little too far.
I can't take it.
A little too far. All right.
All right, maybe that's a little too far.
There we go.
Stop posting them.
Yeah, do that on your own time. Do it in the privacy of your own home.
Don't post them.
Yeah, don't eat in the bathroom. The dessert often will contain raw egg and shouldn't be consumed if it's left at room temperature for more than 2 hours.
Maybe I got a little extreme.
Yeah, all right, take a deep breath. It's going to be okay. I'm just thinking about like all of the, it's so...
Have you really never seen those videos though?
No.
They're maddening.
See, but you did this last time. You told me about a weird video, and then they started popping up. My phone listens to me.
It listens to me,
well,
which that's even scarier.
Certainly louder than I am. So.
All right, let's move along to an airline passenger who got a bit more than she asked for during a recent flight.
A traveler took to social media sharing her horrific experience on a flight. She was flying on Frontier Airlines from Seattle to Dallas.
She explained that her backpack was stored under the seat in front of her.
When the flight was over, she went to grab it and then realized it was soaked. Wait, I already don't like where this is going.
No.
Oh, there's the lower third. Great.
At first she assumed it was soda or something. But when she went to dry it off in the airplane bathroom with paper towels, it came out yellow.
Yeah, she goes on to say in the post that she is 99% sure that the person sitting in front of her peed during the flight and it leaked onto her backpack.
After cleaning, the passenger went to the gate to try to report this. However, she was taken aback when the staff brushed it off almost completely.
She said that she brought the paper towels with her as evidence and just wanted to be taken seriously. She wasn't really looking for much. Eventually, she got in contact with a manager who admitted they needed to call their general manager since it was a situation they didn't know how to handle. It never happened to them before.
She took the paper towels with her as evidence.
Listen, I would do the same.
I don't know. I think I'd leave it all in the bathroom on the plane and say...
Actually, you know what? That's a better idea.
Yeah.
Although, I don't think you're going back on the plane. Like.
Oh, no. But like when I'm on the plane, cleaning it off, and I realize that these paper towels are yellow, I'm setting it down, washing my hands, going to talk to one of the flight attendants immediately. I'm not walking back to the seat carrying the paper towels. It's human waste.
I have goosebumps just thinking about it.
She was eventually told that Frontier couldn't do anything about this situation and to just settle it with the passenger.
What does that mean?
Do you say to the guy in front of you, hey, bro.
You peed on my bag.
You peed on my stuff.
Commenters on social media were quick to respond, saying how unprofessional that is for a company, some even saying that she should take actions further against the airline.
At this time, there is no word of any comment from Frontier Don't know if she did anything further though either and pursued this in any way, shape, or form. Would I don't know what you do.
I'd be furious, is what I'd do. I would bodily fluids. I can't do.
Well,
like
also, what was in her bag? Like
probably a laptop, right?
Yeah, was a laptop. Like
usually in my backpack.
Did that seep into it though?
Stop.
Like, do the keys work anymore?
What's wrong with you?
These are all valid questions. Don't you think?
You know what? And another valid question here, I would say, is why did the person pee on her bag? Was it like maybe somebody drank too much at the airport bar and then, had some kind of incident? Was it like a medical thing?
Well, and the airline's gonna know when that passenger gets up and they come to clean up that area, they're gonna notice a big spot on that seat, no? Or the next passenger who sat there. Or, I don't know, people around them saying, what's that smell? Did somebody have asparagus?
Oh my, that is so disgusting. It's
true.
I want to gag. Stop talking. We have the final story to get to right now. Remember the other day where I was like, I just get randomly nauseous? It's happening now.
It's not random. It's when I talk.
It's only when we do these gross stories, my mouth waters, and I'm like,
Okay. So the final story is love can make you do a lot of things, but would you travel 6,000 miles for a second date? The answer is yes.
You would?
Well, yeah, because the dating app told me that they couldn't find anybody in America for me.
That's right. I forgot about that. One woman named Grace Kelley. I went to school with a Grace Kelley. Maybe this is her.
She was also a princess.
Yes, she was. She recently shared her fairy tale love story on social media.
Yeah, she says the story starts when she was on vacation in Taiwan.
She was at the hotel bar when she met a potential suitor.
Ooh.
The man owned a restaurant there, and they instantly hit it off.
A restaurateur.
It sounded good so far.
Yeah. So she goes on to say they enjoyed each other's company so much so that they stayed up all night together to make the most of the few hours they had left with one another.
They shared conversations about their ideal futures, exchanged some laughs, and ended the night by going to his restaurant to make pasta from scratch.
Okay, this sounds like the plot of a movie.
Right? That's what I'm saying.
Hallmark, this is their next Christmas feature. She said she thought it was just a vacation fling.
Once she flew home, she decided to keep in touch with him. 3 weeks later, she was booking another flight back to Taiwan just to see him for a second date.
They have been traveling back and forth between the UK and Taiwan ever since.
It seems that they're still together and making long distance work. She even shared that when he first went to visit her in the UK, they discovered that they both grew up only about an hour apart from one another.
That's actually interesting. Maybe that's why they have such a connection.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I love this story. I think it's so cute.
Meant to be. I think he should have made the next trip. I don't think she should have gone back to Taiwan. But
maybe he paid for her ticket.
Oh. Listen.
Maybe it's like, it's nicer here.
Money,
come to the restaurant.
If he's got a little that scratch, good for her.
A little vacation, I guess.
A little pasta. A little vino.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nothing wrong.
Win-win. Hey, stick around. Much more to come here on ARC Rochester when we come back, including we are getting some tips on how to keep our brains healthy.
Yeah, we're back after this.
June is Brain Health Awareness Month, and food can play a big role on our brain's development and day-to-day function.
Yeah, absolutely. For more, we're joined by nutritionist Kelley Springer. We're talking about foods that can keep our noggins in good shape. Kelley, always great to see you. What's going on?
I am thrilled to be talking about this topic because a lot of people are focused on brain health, and it is nutrition that's going to make the difference. As you see these beautiful colors here, but it truly is simple. It's about eating real food. So we have peppers and whole grain wheat bread and tuna fish and nuts and eggs and lettuce and berries. All real food is going to truly make your brain feel better and stay healthy.
Kelley, quickly, any carrots or bananas there?
Actually, there's bananas right in my basket behind this, and there's carrots in the fridge.
Okay. I feel like, do I get a point for that?
No, it's not on her display.
Okay, see, I thought, I wasn't sure of the topic, and I figured there might be carrots or bananas out there today. I just had a feeling, but I guess I was wrong.
No, they're here. They are with us in presence because I'm glad that you mentioned this. All fruits and vegetables are going to contain fiber, right? They're going to contain fiber. They're plants. And so when we get that fiber, as we know, we've talked a lot about how that brain and gut are connected. When we eat those fiber-rich sources, it helps to lower inflammation, which helps protect our brains. Also, when we incorporate different foods like almonds or tuna fish, getting in healthy fats, even olive oil, that is going to help as well because that's going to absorb and help to actually bring into our bodies vitamin D, A, E, and K. So this is where these are fat-soluble vitamins, and we need to have that combination. So if we're having, for instance, this morning, I had 2 eggs, which are going to have my vitamin E, vitamin D, selenium, lots of different nutrients and vitamins, and I partnered it with my berries. And so that vitamin C and vitamin E combination has been proven in research to actually help our brain stay healthy.
Kelley, I think so often when people are at the grocery store or they're doing their meal planning for the week, the very first thing on their mind is, all right, I'm trying to lose weight or I'm trying to, maybe slim down, whatever that is. But honestly, eating really plays such a big role with all of our organs.
It does, and I'm so glad you brought that up. So last night I had my book signing at our local library in Skinny Atlas, and you can find this book right on Amazon. It's The New Weight Loss Era. But what I was talking about last night, which is really interesting, is we have this whole new era of the weight loss drugs, right? The GLP-1s. Most people do not know, and in my audience last night, they did not know that we naturally make GLP-1s. By eating fiber and protein-rich sources, all real foods like you see here, our bodies will know what to do. And when we make that GLP-1 naturally in our body, it goes back up to our brain to say, hey, we're full. But if we're not getting foods that actually have fiber, nutrients, vitamins, antioxidants, and protein, we can't make our natural hormones that our bodies are needing to make. So I like to kind of make that point.
Kelley, do me a favor. You started out by talking about the link gut health to brain health. Dive a little deeper into that because I think that might need, for me, it needs to sink in a little more. I'm not quite sure I'm understanding it.
Absolutely. So our digestive tract is about 30 feet in length and about 100 trillion bacterial cells. And those bacterial cells, we are actually 10 times more bacteria than we are human cells. They only live on fiber-rich sources, okay? So when we eat the fiber, it goes into our digestive tract and it gets broken down even further by those bacteria. Then with protein sources and that fiber source, we're able to make things like serotonin, our happiness neurotransmitter.
Ew.
Yeah, this is how it's all connected. It's actually so super cool of how it all comes together. So by eating these types of foods, then those gut bacteria are making all those neurotransmitters and we're sending it back up to the brain for those signals.
Wow.
So food is truly the basis to all happiness and brain health.
Kelley Springer blowing our minds.
Yeah.
Great stuff. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. KellysChoice.org if people want to learn more, correct?
Yes, absolutely. Our dietitians are waiting. We have 50 dietitians nationwide. We accept insurance. Buy the book today on Amazon, and we cannot wait to work with you.
Kelley Springer, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
Don't go anywhere. When we come back, our final thoughts this Wednesday morning.
We're back after this. time for our final thoughts this Wednesday morning on Arc Rochester. What were the best bits today, people?
Well, we talked about the heat from last year and bringing it forward to this year.
That was good.
Tried to cool it off with these guys. That was fun.
Yeah, that was good. Let me see, what else? Marty McFly in
That was
studio.
fun.
That was very cool.
That was fun.
Yep. Good stuff with that. I don't know. I mean, it was a Wednesday kind of day.
It was. I really enjoyed it when Mark gave away the answer to weather trivia.
That first weather hit was top-notch quality.
Yes. Listen. Yeah. We're cutting that for the web.
Yeah.
It's getting posted.
It wasn't that bad.
Well, that's what I said to him.
I know.
Listen.
You ever get so excited to tell a story that, you just spilled it, like all the beans come right out right away?
Yes. Yep. Absolutely. That's me every day, okay?
Tomorrow we're going to have some fun out in the garden.
Yes.
Finally.
Exciting things.
The where?
The 13 Wham Garden.
Yeah. Don't say it too loud. You'll jinx it.
Hey, don't go somewhere. Yeah, because the show's over. That does it for. I was going to say, don't go anywhere. That does it for us here on Arc Rochester. Make sure to wake up with us again tomorrow morning, starting at 4:57 on
13 Wham ABC.
Right.
Steph and Mark will be there later today for 13 Wham News at midday.